make your bed in the morning, or you don't see the point because, well, you're just going to get back into it later. And I am asking this because apparently it is International Bed Making Day, and we were talking about it in the office. The results were that the majority do. So bed maker or not, 1300 222 720. And while we were talking about beds, another big question and a big topic of discussion in the office too, do you use a top sheet or just the duvet, the doona? Now, Susanne T-Bar is a professional organiser, so I thought she might have some thoughts on this. Hello, Susanne.
Yes. Good afternoon. I do have some thoughts on this.
Do you always make your bed in the morning? I think you're German, so I think I already know the answer to this question.
Yes. So, well, that's an assumption that all Germans are organised. I do make my bed, but didn't grow up with a top sheet. Don't like it. Find it annoying in hotels. Kids don't like it. Kids get tangled. No top sheet, which makes it easier because I just shake the quilt.
The duvet. Yeah, I'm with you. I was so shocked at how many people at work said absolutely to the top sheet. I don't know. I don't see the point.
And then there's hospital corners and really weird things, and it does make it hard. So I see with my customers that they want to make it, but then they don't, and it's more messy than if you just lose the top sheet and go with a quilt.
Yeah.
Quilt cover.
The answer I seem to get from everybody is, well, if I've got the top sheet, then I only need to wash that. I don't need to wrestle the duvet out of the duvet cover and, go through that rigmarole once a week. But and also, doesn't it make you warmer if you've just got the duvet and you rather than putting another sheet in between?
Well, I guess it does, but there's a solution for that too, is just don't have, on a queen bed or a king bed, don't have a king-size duvet, have two singles.
Yeah,
Everyone gets their own.
This is a very Danish, German thing to do.
Yes, it's so much easier to change. There is no fighting, and you can have the light or the weight you want. Someone needs a warm blanket, gets a warm blanket, so you don't have to share. And they're much easier to change. The smaller, like the single duvets, rather than a king-sized one.
Oh, yeah, king size is just too tricky for me, but I'll never forget staying at our Danish friend's house for the first time. I was like, what is going on? There are two single duvets on the bed. And It's a very clever idea. Everybody on the text line is saying we use top sheets. Now, Susanne, I don't think you are a scientist, but maybe you can answer Sharon's question, because she says we actually pull our top sheet and doona all the way back to expose the fitted sheet. Then we open the blinds so the sun can hit the fitted and flat sheet and naturally sterilise the sheets and dry out any sweat. Not sure if it's a load of bunkum or not. Do you think this is a good strategy?
I've heard that you shouldn't make your bed straight after slipping out of it because particles from your skin or the shedding or the stuff that happens during the night. So you should absolutely air it first and then make it. And if you do have top sheets, the making of a bed is a very tight fit, so no air would come in. So I think that's a good idea, to air it first and then make it.
I learn something new every day in this job. This is why I love it. Michelle says, I fold mine back every morning to air the sheets and mattress. Such a fresh feeling to get into at night. Okay, this is great. Callum on the text line says, many years ago I was struggling with depression. My father gave me some advice that has stuck with me ever since. Make your bed in the morning, then at least you start your day by accomplishing something. Ever since then, it's always the first thing I do when I wake up. Such a small thing can really start your day off on the right foot. Do you think there's truth to that?
Everyone is different. If this starts your day on the right foot, go for it. If it's too much of a hassle, find an easier solution, like not having a top sheet. Or don't make it at all. I don't think we should be that hung up on it. It's your private bedroom. Like, no one is going to get in there. And don't get me started on cushions on beds, because I sleep with one pillow. Why would I have cushions that I then have to toss to the floor? The first thing waking up in the morning is you see a mess of cushions on the floor. Why? No one will get into your bedroom but you. So why all that show off and making beds for? If it works well for you, and if you like the cushions, go for it. But if they bother you, there's no rule. Just go. think.
I'm with you on that. It keeps things a lot easier. Whenever you go to a hotel, you have to, remove all the extras and then find somewhere for them. And it's just a pain. I'm speaking to Susanne Tiba about, I guess, whether or not making the bed is a necessary thing. And clearly cushions on the bed is not something you are a fan of. What about the way hotels will have a sheet, then a duvet without a cover, then another sheet? Is that okay?
Gross.
And what about washing sheets? How often do we need to be doing this?
Okay. I think we should wash how dirty it is and not the whole set in one go. You'll save your energy and electricity and water. Think about it. The most dirty thing in a bed is the pillow. So wash the pillow cover every week. The next dirty is the fitted sheet because you lie on it every 2 weeks. And then the top sheet or the duvet cover, however way you go, every 3 weeks. There is no rule that it all has to go into the washing machine in one go. Makes a huge difference.
Why didn't someone teach me this years ago? I'm doing it all at once.
Most people do. And when you think of it, it's not necessary. It does make your day, your week easier. 5 beds in a household, that's a lot. That's 3 washing loads.
Well, I don't know. I feel like I do 3 washing loads every day in my house with 3 kids and all the animals and all the rest of it. But if there's one thing I take from this, it's going to be wash the pillowcases more frequently, leave the rest. Eve's saying if you don't use a top sheet, how do you cope on a hot night in summer? I don't have a duvet in summer, Eve. So I've got a top sheet in summer and sometimes, like I guess you'd call it a coverlet or something that just ends up on the floor, but not in winter.
So I think a lot of, and I've seen that in Airbnbs, in Cairns or something, they just put the quilt cover without a quilt inside as sort of a double sheet blankety thing. It's a little bit more than just one sheet that can substitute as the blanket. You can just do a top sheet. You can do nothing. No rules, just
have you heard
what fits.
Susanne, have you heard of the burrito roll? Someone's saying duvets are easy to change. Learn to do the burrito roll. What is the burrito roll?
I've seen it online, but because I have single covers, everyone has a single, which is also very nice in the linen press because all the duvet covers are the same size, so I don't get confused. I don't find it a big deal to change duvet covers. It's, it should be the tallest in the family doing it. Because it's much easier when you're tall. Because this thing is 2 meters 20 long, and if you're 1.60 or 1.40 or 50, it's harder. But it's easier for tall people. So just give it to the tall people in the family.
That's their job. I've just remembered one other thing that drives me to distraction. We've got bunk beds in my youngest's room, and putting the fitted sheet on the top bed in the bunk bed, it's a nightmare.
Yes. Yeah, even if they're even the bottom one is against the wall, or you have a very, very heavy mattress, which apparently is great to sleep on, but you kind of have to lift the whole thing out. Yeah, there are some fitted sheets that have handles, so it's easier to kind of get it around the corner and really pull. Good quality and the elastic intact, that kind of helps. Yeah, but bunk beds are a bit of a nightmare.
Oh, Susanne, it has been fascinating. I have learned quite a lot, which I was not expecting to do, talking about duvets and bed sheets. Thank you very much.
No worries. Take care.
Susanne Tiba, she is a professional organiser.